Messages from Shaltazar, from conflict to peace. Greetings, dear ones. We are Shaltazar, the Gavish Baninu, the energy of 33, the Master Teacher, and the energy of 44, the Master Healer. We return to speak with you about conflict, for we know how often it rises in your daily lives. It may be a sharp word between partners, a disagreement with a child, a clash with a colleague, or even the tension you feel when watching the divisions in your world. After sharing with you the greater vision that the way from conflict to connection is through heart and spirit, we now offer guidance on how to embody this wisdom in the very moments where discord erupts. The first and most vital step is to reconnect with spirit before you attempt to reconnect with the other. When anger or defensiveness swells, pause and bring awareness inward. Place a hand on your heart. Close your eyes if you can, and whisper, "I call on Spirit to guide me now." Even a few breaths in this posture shifts your vibration. You are no longer meeting the argument from the battleground of the mind, but from the sanctuary of the soul. When you open your eyes again, look upon the other not as opponent, but as fellow traveler. This does not erase the differences, but it softens the energy. From this state, your tone changes. Your words carry less bite, and the space for understanding widens. Let your first intention be to understand where this fellow traveler is coming from, to hear the story beneath their words or actions. For example, if a partner raises their voice about a forgotten chore, listen beyond the surface irritation. Perhaps it speaks of their own fatigue or longing to feel supported. If a colleague snaps in a meeting, pause to sense the pressure they may be under. This practice does not mean you abandon your truth, but it helps you meet theirs with empathy. You may be surprised how often the other feels the shift and responds in kind, even without knowing why. Remember also that if you insist on right or wrong, winning or losing, you will never arrive at the peace we are pointing to. The mind is bound to linearity, to sides and judgments, but spirit is not. Spirit speaks in harmony, in possibility, in connection that transcends victory and defeat. Only when you step out of the battleground of right and wrong can you enter the sanctuary where true resolution lives. Another practice is to slow the pace of the exchange. Conflict feeds on speed, the quick retort, the escalating voice, the piling of old grievances. Spirit works through stillness, so when you feel the fire rising, breathe slowly and deliberately before responding. Let your pauses be pregnant with presence, Sometimes silence itself becomes the balm that dissolves the next wave of hostility. We remind you of the backpack of stones, an image we have shared before. Each of you carries a backpack filled with stones, old hurts, disappointments, and inherited burdens. In arguments, many of the stones being hurled are not about the present moment, but about those long carried weights. When you feel an old wound pressing into a current conflict, silently acknowledge it. This stone is older than this argument. In recognizing this, you may choose not to throw it. You may set it down instead, lessening the weight you carry and sparing another from unnecessary pain. Practical does not mean ordinary. Spirit offers many creative ways to shift conflict energy. You may choose to place a symbol of peace in your home, a candle, a stone, a flower that you both agree to notice when tempers rise. You may agree with a partner to touch hands when arguments swell, not as surrender, but as reminder of shared humanity. These small gestures carry great power, for they redirect attention from separation to connection. If the conflict is with a stranger, remember the same principles apply. Before engaging in the mind's battle, pause inwardly and call upon Spirit. Seek first to sense what might be beneath their words or actions: a fear, a frustration, a longing you may never fully know, but can acknowledge in your heart. You may not always change the outcome, but you will change the quality of your presence, and presence is contagious. Your calm and your willingness to understand may ripple outward more than your words ever could. Do not be discouraged if these practices feel awkward at first. They are rewiring lifetimes of habit, both your own and humanity's. Each time you choose spirit over separation, heart over hostility, you plant a seed of unity. Some seeds sprout quickly, others take time, but all contribute to the garden of peace your world longs for. Dear ones, know that practical and mystical are not two paths, but one. Every breath that calls spirit into conflict is a mystical act. Every pause that prevents a hurtful word is a practical miracle. Together they weave a new pattern for living, a blueprint not only for your relationships, but for the healing of the world. Whether with a partner, a colleague, or a stranger, each act of choosing spirit over separation helps shift the collective toward unity. In this way, the practice you bring to your closest interactions becomes part of humanity's greater reconciliation. We bring you this message from a place of love. Our love for you is everlasting and unconditional. Practice peace in your everyday conflicts. remembering that if you cling to right and wrong, winning and losing, you remain bound to the mind. True reconciliation comes only when you step beyond linearity into the heart, where spirit shows you that there is nothing to win, only more love to be found. In this way, you become living bridges from division to connection, from separation to unity, and into peace.